Good morning and welcome to Hurstbourne Senior Apartments. My name is Bonnie Harbage and I am a partner of HS Development Partners, a woman-owned business specializing in the development and long-term ownership of affordable housing. I am honored and excited to be here today to showcase our project, which will provide 70 units of affordable housing to seniors aged 55 and over within the city of Louisville. The lack of affordable housing for seniors and families continues to be a challenge not only in Louisville but across the country. Governmental organizations, both local and national, play a pivotal role in creating policies and allocating resources to support affordable housing initiatives. The city of Louisville has provided a significant resource for this project in the era of post-COVID, plaguing affordable housing projects with increased construction costs, labor shortages, supply chain issues, and most recently, increased interest rates. The financing that the city of Louisville provided for Hurstbourne Senior Apartments played a pivotal role in seeing this project through completion. We are honored and grateful for this relationship, and we look forward to our partnership on future projects. Today, I am pleased to introduce Mayor Craig Greenberg, here to present a new housing strategy plan for the city of Louisville. We look forward to working with the city of Louisville on future projects in an effort to meet the plan's goal of delivering 15,000 affordable housing units across the city. Mayor?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bonnie. It is great to be here in Fern Creek. It is great to be here with so many friends and colleagues who, like me, believe that more affordable housing, more housing is needed all across Louisville. And so we're here today in Fern Creek to make that point, as you'll hear us talking a lot about in this plan, that this is a plan for all forms of housing all across the city, in every neighborhood, in every zip code, in every Metro Council district. So thank you all so much to my friends for joining us here today who share this belief that affordable housing is the foundation of life in our city and in every community. When I was campaigning for mayor, one of the promises I made is that I would address the biggest and most urgent challenges that we face as a city head on. We're doing that with our work to improve public safety and reduce the amount of gun violence. We're doing that with our work to make pre-kindergarten education a reality for all 3- and 4-year-old children across our city. And we're here today to talk about how we're going to address another critical challenge our city faces. That's the need for more housing for the people of Louisville all across our city, in every neighborhood. Safe, affordable, quality housing is a basic human need. It's the foundation of everything else in life. And it's a need that is going unmet or is being inadequately met for far too many people in Louisville. It affects our economy, contributes to our homelessness crisis, and so many other aspects of life in our city. Lack of housing has been an issue for a very long time, and it's an issue that people and organizations across the city have been working on. That includes individual advocates, nonprofits, members of my team at Metro Government, and members of the Metro Council. In talking with these folks and others across the city, it's clear that it's time to take all of this work to a whole new level. In order to make the progress that we need on housing, we must act boldly with a sense of urgency and take a different approach than we've tried before. The most recent housing needs assessment identified the need for at least 31,000 units of housing for the lowest income households in Louisville. That means households that are at or below 30% of the area median income. To give you some numbers, that's the equivalent of a family of 4 living on $27,000 a year. In addition to that housing, we need around 22,000 more housing units for those households earning up to 50% of the area median income. And that's not all. For more than a year, I've been talking with people all over the city who recognize that we need more housing and who recognize that we need more housing all over the city. And we're talking about housing of every type: single-family housing, apartments, duplexes, every type of housing in every zip code, every Metro Council district, every neighborhood. Housing is not an over there problem. It's a right here problem. And we need a solution that works right here in Louisville, all across Louisville, today. Safe, affordable, quality housing is the foundation for every family and must be present in all neighborhoods, not just other people's neighborhoods. Let me say that again. Safe, affordable, quality housing is the foundation for every family and must be present in all neighborhoods, not just other people's neighborhoods. And something to consider as part of this discussion: when we talk about the need for more housing all across our city, we often only talk about affordable housing. And I know when some folks hear the term affordable housing, they think that just means low-income housing. And that is a serious part of the issue, as we've been talking about. But the need is much broader than that. When I talk about affordable housing, I mean that no one should have to pay more than 30% of their income on housing expenses each month. That applies to everyone in our city. No one should have to pay more than 30% of their income towards housing expenses. Of course, when your income is higher, you have more choices. And when your income is limited, the choices are too often far and few between. We need more housing for lower income families, just as we need more housing for teachers, police officers, factory workers, nurses, and more. That's why we need more housing, period, and in every part of our city, so people can afford to live close to their work, to their family, or wherever else they choose. And while wages have risen in the last few years, housing costs, rents, and mortgages have gone up much faster than wages. The median home price in Louisville has risen 48% since 2016, while the median income has only risen 29%. And that gap is one of the reasons why some people are facing what we call housing insecurity, or why many people are even becoming homeless, including people who might have a place to work, but not a place to live. That is completely unacceptable in our city. Adding more housing, and in particular housing that serves the needs of our lowest income residents, will help us address our homelessness and eviction crises that we're dealing with in our city. Even if your personal housing is secure, this still affects you. That's because housing is critical to our overall economy. Housing is economic development. For example, we're always looking to attract business investment and expansion. But the real priority now for cities is talent. Attracting and retaining talent is a top priority for the economic development of our future. Today, so many people can do their jobs from anywhere. That means they can live wherever they want. And this is a great opportunity for Louisville because we have a city that provides a great quality of life. And the overall cost of living here is much lower than in a lot of other cities. But the lack of affordable and available housing is hurting us economically because it means people who might want to move or stay here are more likely to look elsewhere. Adding housing units is the smart thing to do. It leads to a stronger economy and improved tax base to fund parks, police, paving, public services, and everything else that we want to accomplish as a city. These are among the reasons why during my campaign, I pledged that Metro Government would work with community partners that we have here today and others across the city to create and preserve 15,000 units of affordable housing. This will be one of my administration's top priorities during our term in office. And the good news is we're already underway. Since taking office in January, my administration has made significant commitments, more than $37 million already invested in affordable housing. At the same time, we've also been working on this comprehensive housing strategy for our city. And that's why today, I'm proud to announce the My Louisville Home Plan. It will serve as the roadmap to help us build, renovate, and preserve 15,000 additional housing units all across Louisville. There are a lot of factors that influence housing, and this plan addresses the most significant issues. There's a lot to it. I'll give you some of the highlights, but you can find the full plan online. So here are some of the key details in how we get there. First, we absolutely have to change our land development code so we can streamline and simplify the process that builders have to go through to create more housing. And we have to provide the option to create more housing density. That means removing regulatory barriers and other hurdles so we can create vibrant, safe, affordable, clean, and green corridors of opportunity across our entire city. The truth is that the housing development process we now have was designed for a much slower pace and a much smaller city than the one we now live in. We have to revise this process so that we can get homes built more quickly and efficiently. We also need to significantly increase funding for the Louisville Affordable Housing Trust Fund so we can expand the scope of their incredible work. Like Revert, a redlining mitigation program that opens the door to home ownership in neighborhoods that were hurt by redlining. Supporting the Affordable Housing Trust Fund also means committing to an annual investment in the city budget of at least $20 million, finding a permanent dedicated funding source for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and making the fund a revolving loan fund so it exists forever. We'll also work to attract more modular home construction companies to Louisville. Modular homes can be built much faster and more efficiently than traditional housing. It's good for our neighborhoods and good for our environment. In addition to building new homes, we need to do a better job of preserving existing affordable units by continuing to support programs like our popular home repair program, and we'll implement new measures as well. We also need to make home buying more affordable by continuing to fully fund our down payment assistance and closing cost assistance programs that we already have in place. Another way to get to 15,000 affordable homes by 2027 is by addressing the number of vacant and abandoned properties we have across our city. We have far too many vacant and abandoned lots. That's why Louisville Metro is going to implement the Lien Forgiveness in Exchange for Affordability program. This allows the city to waive code enforcement liens on vacant or affordable properties if the buyer redevelops the property and sells or rents it to an income-eligible family. And of course, the work of building and preserving homes has to align with Louisville's health and sustainability goals. So My Louisville Home will promote sustainable building by leverage innovating tools like the Energy Project Assessment District and our Solar Over Louisville program. We'll also take advantage of new tax credits, rebates, grants, and other incentives like those available in the Inflation Reduction Act. We will continue to support the new community land trusts that are launching in the near future in parts of our city. These will create permanently affordable single-family homes. There's much more to My Louisville Home, and I encourage everyone to review the detailed full draft plan that this is. A detailed roadmap to how we will create 15,000 new affordable housing units all across our city by 2027. It's now available on the city's website at louisvilleky.gov/mylouisvillehome. When we presented an overview of this plan to housing stakeholders last week, some of whom are with us here today, and we'll be taking public comment on our website from today through November 3rd. and we'll release the final plan on December 1st. But we're not waiting. We're already getting started on some of these important initiatives. Some of the reforms in My Louisville Homes are ones we can implement through Metro Government. For others, we'll work with public agencies, partners in the business and nonprofit centers, and also our partners at the Commonwealth of Kentucky, both through the Governor's Administration and through the General Assembly, where we're asking for some legislative changes to create more affordable housing units. The most meaningful and urgent housing reforms will require the approval of Metro Council. We're already in conversations, and I will continue to work with members of Metro Council to achieve our goal of creating and preserving 15,000 affordable housing units all across our city. When we were preparing this plan, I was told that this goal is bigger and more ambitious than anything our city or any other city our size has ever undertaken. That was interesting to hear, but that's not what matters. What matters is that people in Louisville need a place to live, and our city needs more people to live here. So let's make that happen. Let's embrace the investments, partnerships, innovations, and particularly the regulatory reforms that are essential to the housing crisis. Let's be bold. Let's do things differently. Let's think big, move fast, and work together to make the progress that we need for the people of Louisville and the city of Louisville. I want to conclude by thanking Marilyn Harris, Jeff O'Brien, Laura Grabowski, Deputy Mayor Pat Malloy, and everyone else that has played a role in working with me for the last 9 months to put this comprehensive and detailed plan in place. This is a team effort. Our administration's team, but our community team. We've been listening to people for over a year now for input on this plan. And with further public input over the next month, I am very convinced that we can achieve these bold goals because that's what the people of Louisville need. Thank you all very much for joining us. Thanks to all of my friends and colleagues who are here today that are working together to provide more affordable housing all across our city, in every zip code, in every neighborhood, in every Metro Council district. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm happy to take a few questions.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
With Louisville Public Media. So one of the key things that this proposal notes is targeted code enforcement on subpar land-owned properties. Could you explain a little bit about that and how your administration is going to work towards also implementing protections for existing and new housing projects for low-income families?
Sure. Beyond just affordable housing, housing needs to be safe and high quality. And there are too many landlords in our city that are not providing quality, affordable housing. And so that is targeted to ensuring that people who are living in affordable housing also have high quality. And that means that private sector landlords need to up their game and provide a high quality of housing. And that also means that we at Metro Government need to improve the quality of the housing that we offer to our residents through Louisville Metro Housing Authority. And our administration will be focused on that as well.
Do you have specific plans in terms of outlining how code enforcement is going to be ramped up, or there's going to be new ways of enforcing regulations?
Yeah, some of that is by hiring new individuals, and we already in our last budget had budgeted for additional hires for more individuals in that area. We'll continue to focus in that area. And then when we get feedback, we want to respond quicker than we have been. What else?
Mayor, I know we've heard several times that we need 30,000 units of affordable housing in the city.
Yeah.
15,000 is a great step to get there. Is there a second phase to this in the future? Because I'm sure at some point that gap is going to continue to increase if there's not more.
No, great question. As I mentioned, this is the biggest and boldest affordable housing plan that our city has ever undertaken. And we will accomplish this goal. And then as soon as we accomplish this goal, we will strive to do it again and again and again. This is going to continue. So this goal is just our start. It is big and it is bold. We have to do it because you're right. We need even more housing all across our city in every neighborhood. And so this is just the beginning. Sure. Yeah, we're looking for a strong partnership with our friends on Metro Council to be supportive of all aspects of this plan. Some of the plan requires additional funding, like the additional funding for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. We're going to look for ideas, and we have some ideas in the plan for possibly permanent funding sources for the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So some of it is financial, of new budgetary requests that we'll be making of Metro Council in the next budget year. But a big thing that we need is their help on regulatory reform. My Louisville plan focuses on creating denser, clean, green corridors of opportunity all across our city, where we can have more dense housing where people can live and work and have restaurants and services all available in walking distance. To do that, we need to change our land development code, and that requires the support of Metro Council. And so we'll be working with our friends on Metro Council to implement those changes and hope to have their support over the coming months. Because again, we are focused on increasing the amount of affordable, safe, and quality housing all in every neighborhood of Louisville, not just other people's neighborhoods. Well, it could be many ways. In some cases, it could be building vertically. In other cases, it could be reducing the required space of land for single-family home developments and just permit that on smaller acreage as well. So all of that is something that we're looking about. Again, this program is focused on all types of housing, on single-family for sale homes, on rental apartments, on duplexes, on condominiums. We want a wide variety of housing all across our city in every neighborhood. Yeah. Yes, we are going to track our progress on a dashboard that we're working on right now. So we'll have that complete by December 1st when we fully launch the final plan after public input. But we have already gotten started on that with some of the announcements we've had this year. But we are very committed to being transparent about the progress we're making.
One more, guys.
Oh, yes.
So I have a question. My name is Stacy, and I help individuals in the community find housing, especially affordable housing. Korea is here. I'm part of Korea.
Sure.
And I help a lot of private landlords place individuals. Someone like me, who's an independent, trying to bridge the gap within the community, how could I work with you or get a hold of someone to work together to do a plan to be able to place more for the independent sector, such as myself?
Are you speaking with respect to residents, or do you mean for individual builders?
So it would be residents, it would be for nonprofit agencies,
Mm-hmm.
and it would also be for private landlords working together.
Sure.
To put people in housing.
So in a few ways, great question. I mean, some of the programs that we're talking about in my Louisville plan include programs for the actual home builder or the renter. We're going to expand the home repair program so individuals who are already in a house can stay in their house if they need some support. There's the Revert program. That's a new program that we launched this year to get people into to allow first-time home buyers to have the opportunity to buy homes in neighborhoods that were previously redlined. We're going to expand the down payment assistance program. So all of these are programs that we're looking to continue to expand and strengthen for the residents that need some support to meet their affordable housing needs, whether it's for rental and eviction prevention or whether it is to buy their first home, for example. And then also for smaller builders, we have this new lien forgiveness program that's, I believe, is going to be revolutionary to address our vacant and abandoned properties that we have all across our city. We are going to waive code enforcement liens that are on existing vacant and abandoned properties if the individual or company that is buying that property commits to renovating or building that home for an income-eligible household. That is going to transform neighborhoods. It's going to transform our city, and it's also going to get more people into more homes. Thank you all so much for being here today, and we look forward to continuing updated and making progress towards building 15,000 new, affordable, safe, and quality homes all across our city in every neighborhood. Thank you all very much.